Welcome everybody, Jimmy Dali here, welcoming you to another tutorial. Hopefully this one is gonna improve your monitor's resolution. I'm gonna show you how you can improve the resolution and probably the frames of your screen as well. So if you have a decent graphics card and you're on Windows 10 64-bit edition, I have an RTX 2070 from Nvidia. You can probably do this at home as well. So if you have a 1080p monitor, let's see how you can switch it over to 1440p. So that would be 2K or Quad HD. Alright, so you go to Nvidia Display Manager, Nvidia Control Panel, and then you go to change resolution. So we want to do the BenQ. My BenQ right now is at 1440p. That's not the normal resolution. The normal resolution, the native resolution, as you can see here, is 1920 by 1080. How did I manage to change this? Well, I went to customize, and then I went to create custom resolution. And here, where it says 1920 by 1080, I switched to 2560. Over here, it said 1080p. I switched it to 1440p. I left this at 60 Hertz. Which is the refresh rate of the monitor. I press test, and if the test passes, you can actually save this resolution, and it'll show up here. You check mark it, and right away you have 2560 by 1440p at 60 Hertz, 32-bit progressive. Let's just try to bring up the Hertz a bit, maybe up to 65. See if that'll work. See if this BenQ monitor will accept it. So we're gonna not change anything else. We leave the 32-bit color depth and we keep it at progressive and automatic. Don't tinker about too much, guys. Remember, these monitors have standards, and some of these tests will fail, but there is no high risk of breaking your monitor if you don't do extreme adjustments. Just do small increments to see if it'll pass the test. If it does pass the test, you can actually keep that resolution, save it, and use it for gaming even. Alright, let's test this. This is not supported by your display. Okay, press it. 65 Hertz. Nope. Didn't keep it. Alright, so I leave it back to 60. We'll drop it down to 60. Press test again. Already exists. Okay, that's fine. Now let's get out of this BenQ monitor that I have, and we'll go to a 720p that I have. So let's click on that, customize. So I have two different resolutions here. As you can see, it's running at a native 1366 by 768, and I switched it to a 1920 by 1080p resolution at 75 Hertz. It's a 60 Hertz monitor, and I got it running up to 75 Hertz. Again, here it's going to say 1366. You switch it to 1920, and here it's going to say 720. I switched it to 1080p. Then I went up in small increments. I went up to 64 FPS, 70, 74, and so on and so forth. It could handle up to 75 Hertz. So that's what I kept. I pressed test, it worked, and I saved the resolution. So I have two resolutions saved at the moment. I could delete this one. Let's delete that. And keep the 75 Hertz. Remember, you have to check this checkbox here. Enable resolutions not exposed by the display. If you don't check this box, you can't create a custom resolution. So, very important to check that box before you do anything. And right away we see that we're at 1920 by 1080p at 75 Hertz. That's the max it could give me. But for an 18-inch monitor running at 1080p instead of 720p, it's incredible. You get more screen realty, you get more screen space to do your things. You can live stream better, have a better view of the chat, everything. And then you might want to go to the next setting, which is in the display settings. And for the 1080p monitor, or the previous 1366 by 720, now at 1080, I also bumped up the scale and layout. That way I can see the font or the lettering just a bit bigger. Because it's 1080p instead of 720p, everything got smaller, so I bumped up the scale and layout to 125%. You can bump it up to 150 if you really can't see that far and if you don't think it's big enough, but I like 125p. Let's see the rest of the monitors. So my BenQ is at 1440p at the moment. It equals my Dell monitor, which is 155 hertz overclocked monitor running at native 1440p. So this BenQ is actually the same size now after this tweak that I did. And again, you can see here my scale and layout is at 125, which is pretty cool. Again, press customize. You have to check this little check mark here. Create custom resolution. Switch everything from 1080p to 1440p and from 1920 to 2560. Resolution, unfortunately, I couldn't change it. I couldn't bump it up. That's okay. I pressed test. It worked. It kept it. I saved it. And that's the one I'm using now. So if you want to bump up your monitor's resolution and screen refresh rate, do this little trick, guys. It's amazing. It works. If you're on Windows 10 64-bit or Windows 11 and you're using powerful graphics card, RTX 2070 will cut it for me. It's working. It's keeping my 3 monitors in higher refresh rate than usual. I'm very happy with it. By the way, my cable management in the back for the Dell monitor, I'm on DisplayPort. The BenQ is on DisplayPort as well. The 18-inch S Series D, that's on HDMI. The other two are on DisplayPort. Make sure your monitors have decent quality cables. They have to be at least able to support these resolutions. And you can go custom and bump up your screen size and refresh rate. So I hope this helped you guys. Check it out, try it out. Let me know in the chat if it worked for you. So cheers for me. This is Jimmy Dali signing out. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.